guys, what's up? It's Sonia and today I'm obviously filming another video, as I always seem to say when I film a video. And seeing as it's just under 2 weeks or maybe a week, I don't know, when is it? It's soon until I go to Iceland. I thought I would film a video on showing you guys how I pack my hand luggage. I think this is a really key thing that a lot of people don't really seem to consider, and this is almost the most important thing about packing, because everything you need has to be in your hand luggage, and it's really important to get the right bag, to get the right stuff in there so you're all set to go. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys what I pack and some recommendations on how to pack effectively, on what bags to take and so on. So firstly, the most important thing you have to take is obviously going to be your passport, or the documents you're going to need, so your European health card, your any other form of identification you might want to take, so your driving license or anything that shows ID, so if you're going anywhere that you will need it, you can actually get into whatever club or bar or wherever you're going to. So yeah, those are really important things to have. And what my dad always does is he has a plastic wallet, and often you print off your boarding cards depending where you're going. So you're going on by plane, sometimes you print it off the day before. If you're going on the Eurostar, you print it off when you're there. Whatever you're doing, it's good to have a nice little plastic wallet and you can put it all in there and be prepared. I have seen some things in pylons which I personally have, and it's basically just a wallet like I said, but they split it up into everything you need. I think it's just really useful. Make sure that you actually have got everything, because when you look there you're reminded, oh I need this, oh I need this, and it splits everything up really nicely. You know where it's going to be, it's not going to be lost in the bottom of your bag, and you're going to have it, so can't go wrong. Then you want to make sure you pack all your electrical equipment, so your phone charger, sometimes they have charging ports in the airport, your iPod, make sure you have a case for that, headphones, anything that you are going to need for the actual flight, so magazines, money, etc. Yeah, I personally like to have a separate section for all that stuff, just because your electronics are really important, so I usually put that in another little bag inside it. You don't want them getting scratched or lost or whatever, so that's an important thing to have in your bag, is little compartments, especially for your iPod and your phone, because they're things you're going to reach for. And if you have a really massive bag that's just really one of those kind of tote bags, everything's going to fall right to the bottom and going to be rummaging through it. I have been there, it's not fun. I then like to take obviously money, all of that important stuff, and then I like to take my own magazines and books, because I know it's going to be really expensive at the airport, and I try to pack light, which is the main thing, because at the end of the day you don't want to have loads of things you're rummaging through and you're trying to find everything, and then ask them for your boarding card and you can't find it and it's embarrassing, you're holding up the queue. You don't want that to happen, so make sure you've got compact as little stuff as possible, and make sure you put your valuables in your hand luggage as well. So if you have an expensive camera, put it in your hand luggage, because if you lose your case then that's going to be a massive loss, so make sure you have everything that's important right with you. For bags, I have a couple of recommendations. I'd either go for a rucksack, which is good if you're not reaching in there all the time, because it's really annoying if you have to keep getting things out and taking it off. So a rucksack if you don't need things all the time. And then if you've got a rucksack, possibly take a small side bag so you can fit that inside your rucksack when you're about to go on. A lot of aircrafts only want you to take, I think all aircrafts only want you to take one piece of hand luggage, so if you can fit a small bag into your hand luggage before you get on the plane, that's a really good idea, because it means that you've got everything in your small bag and you don't have to keep taking your rucksack off. Personally, mine is quite a secure rucksack, it's got quite a few clasps to get into it, so it's a bit of a pain if you need quick access. I'm gonna cough. If that's not for you, again I recommend taking an across the body bag. You want it to be right on your hip. You know what a hip is, I know I showed it to you, wasn't even in the camera shot. Yeah, you want it to be on your hip rather than right behind you, because you want it to be in your side. Or a bum bag, that's another good one, but you want it to be in your side, that's the main thing. And you want it to be secure, so don't have an open tote bag, have something with a zip or a lock or something that's going to keep it secure. As I said, another good thing will be to have is a bum bag or fanny pack, whatever you want to call it. It looks a bit weird, let's be honest. I mean, it's not the most fashionable item you can get out there, but it does the job and everything's there and it's practical, right? So it's a winner. I personally don't like to take any toiletries or anything like that with me on a flight. That's probably because I don't go on long haul flights really. The longest flight I've ever been on is 4 hours, so this might be different for any of you guys who are going long haul. For me, I don't see the point of having all your makeup and toiletries stuff with you. You're on a plane, it doesn't really matter, and it's just going to be added stress getting all those little bags with you, and if you've gone over then going to confiscate it, you're not going to get it back. Nah, it's just a pain. So, and you don't want your bag to be pulled over and they take out the contents of it, and it's really embarrassing. So I just wouldn't bother with it, seriously. Whoa. My hair always looks shit. So the next thing I always like to take with me is an extra jumper or an extra top or trousers or something. A lot of the time I have been abroad and I have got off the plane and it's either been, if it's Northern Ireland, raining, or Scotland, raining and cold and you don't expect it to be, or really hot and you're wearing jeans, and that ain't fun. Why did I say ain't? So I always like to have some kind of backup plan just in case the weather isn't exactly what I expected, because you don't like to be going around in jeans that are wet if it's been raining, or you haven't got a jumper or that's soaked through or something's happened to it. I always like to have that kind of safety net of something so I look presentable when I get into my designated country. Okay, so the next thing I always like to take with me is some kind of food, usually chocolate, and there is a reason for that. It is very easy to get low on blood sugar and then therefore you get a little bit dizzy, you get a little bit disorientated, and that isn't fun, especially when you're travelling, and that can just be accentuated by getting off the plane and having that kind of difference in altitude and the difference in pressure. So I always like to take some chocolate with me or something that's equally sugary just to boost my blood sugar. And you don't want to have to go for the hassle of finding it and buying it and all that jazz. It's good to just have it there in your pockets so you've got something there as backup. The other thing I like to take with me, or I'll buy it before I get on the plane, is sweets. And usually hard-boiled ones, obvious remedy. I take them if my ears start to pop. I definitely recommend this to someone who has a cold when they are travelling. I went to Northern Ireland. I went there for a uni visit and I had a cold when I went on the plane and my ears were blocked. I got off and they didn't unblock for 3 days. So if you've got something to prevent that, do it, because otherwise you can't hear anything that the lecturer is telling you about the course you might be enrolling in September if you're going to uni day. Otherwise you're fine. I will then do all the usual things. I will take tablets with me just in case something happens. Maybe joy rides. I don't usually get car sick, but you don't want to be getting car sick in a foreign country because that is not fun. I always take my glasses. This is a good thing if you are quite an allergic person. I can get allergic in so many random places, and I've had a test and they don't know what is wrong with me. So what can I say about that? So I take my glasses with me. This is kind of a weird thing. My prescription is about 0.25 or something ridiculously small, but it might be minuscule, but it works. I put my glasses on and it stops anything that's going to make my eyes react. It kind of makes a physical barrier for them getting in, and it's not the most medically marvelling thing ever, but it does work. So when I went to Paris, I could just get them out. They were there, looked a bit nerdy, but my eyes were fine. So that's definitely something that I would recommend if you're someone who has problems with allergies. Alright guys, that was my video about what to take in your hand luggage when you're going travelling. I hope this has been useful and maybe you'll use some of the tips that I've told you for your next travelling adventure. So until I see you next week, I'm going to be going.